Yo, what's going on? So, let's be honest. Life, it be life. And how do we stay motivated when life be life? What I mean is, a lot of times we have highs and lows. We have things going on internally. We have things going on externally. Sometimes those things are things that we honestly cannot control. But how do we continue to stay motivated when life be life? I've always wondered, like when those moments happen to me, I often feel low. I often feel lack of motivation. I often feel like I'm not going to be able to successfully do the things that I know I should do because life is throwing curveballs at me that I wasn't prepared for. And I think the biggest thing that I'm having to wrap my head around is to be prepared for life to be life. The slogan or whatever you want to call it, life be life, is a very true statement, but I believe that we need to add more context to that as well, that we should actually start preparing for life to be life. Like none of us asked to actually be here. None of us knew that we would enter into a world that looked like this or enter into situations that go on in our lives or go on in the lives of others. None of us could prepare for moments like that, right? But how do we continue to hold on to the assignment and the calling over our life when things don't quite add up in the way that we want them to? So how do we stay motivated when so many things are trying to push us away from the motivation? You have to keep pushing forward because life will always be life and we can't control them, but you have to keep going. So what does that look like? So it looks like having a goal and not having a goal that's too small. The reason why many of us quit is because our goal is too small. And when your goal is small, it's easy to give it up. But when you set a big goal and you aim for that goal, you got to keep moving even when all the pieces are not adding up. A lot of us are waiting on all these pieces to come together in order for us to continue to have the motivation to be consistent. And sometimes all of those pieces may not be there, but you got to keep pushing. You got to keep going. And one thing I'm learning is that if I continue to wait for all the pieces to come together, I would never actually put the steps forward to do what I know God is pushing me to do. And a lot of us are sitting on things because we don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to encounter odd or disappointing situations. And odd and disappointing situations are honestly a part of life. That's why life be life, and it's a part of life. And I feel like if we'll wrap our heads around the fact that life won't change, but who we are in life can change, I think that'll make a life of a difference. So I don't know what it is you need to do. I don't know what's stopping your motivation. I don't know how small your goal has been, but I would challenge you that after today, you should start making that goal a little bit higher than it is. Because maybe your goal is so small that when it is time for life to come and snatch the seed of your goal, it's easy to snatch the seed because the seed is so small. But maybe if you spent time allowing that seed to grow, allowing that goal to become bigger, it'll be impossible for that seed to be snatched because the goal is so high. So just stay motivated. Stay motivated and understand that things in life changes, and be okay with that change. And be okay when it changes again. And be okay when it changes again. Because that's what life is all about. It's about those changes. And I'm trying to learn that for myself. Because honestly, it's sometimes hard to adapt to change. But I've been praying. And one thing I prayed the other day about was, Lord, help me welcome change. Help me welcome it. Because I feel like a lot of times I'm rejecting it. I'm rejecting change. I'm rejecting being uncomfortable. I'm rejecting sitting out here talking randomly out here by myself. I'm rejecting it. But if I start rejecting it and embracing it, I can see how further God wants to take me. And I want you to know that God wants to take you further. He wants to take you further along your creative journey, even if you're not a creative. And honestly, I feel like we're all creatives in our own right because we've been made by the Creator. So all of us are creators in our own right. So what are you doing with your creativity? If I'm honest, this video may not go too well. Just because as I'm recording it, I feel nervous. I feel anxious because life is still being life. But my hope is that I can encourage you on the other side of the screen that everything emotionally doesn't always have to be together in order for you to step out on faith and do what it is you need to do. Because sometimes our emotions stop us from being successful. So, as life be life, don't let it life you.